Volume 6 covers the years 1902 to August 1903, which were formative years in creating the program for the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party. In fact, the majority of this volume is a back and forth between Lenin and other members of the would-be party, particularly Grigory Plekhanov, working out a platform of the party. Plekhanov was then widely considered to be the leader of the party, or at least the father of Russian socialism. In many ways, Plekhanov was an early role model for young Lenin, combating the Narodnaya Volya terrorist group, leading demonstrations in Russia, and staunchly advocating for the overthrow of the Tsarist regime. In fact, the draft program of the RSDLP made the overthrow of autocracy its number one priority. It argued that labor emancipation and reform were short-term goals of the party, but the long-term platform understood that without the overthrow of autocracy, concessions to labor were not guaranteed. In the Agrarian program of Russian social democracy, Lenin makes an interesting point that unlike the workers, the party does not, quote, undertake to defend the interests as a class of small landowners and farmers in present-day society. The emancipation of the workers must be the act of the working class itself, and for this reason, social democracy represents, directly and wholly, the interests of the proletariat alone, thereby dismissing or saying that the party does not have the interests of the peasants. Finally, Lenin justifies this position by saying that it is in the struggle against the bourgeoisie, the class of small producers, including small farmers, is a reactionary class, and therefore trying to save the peasantry by protecting small-scale farming and small land holding from the onslaught of capitalism would be a useless retarding of social development. Lenin sticks closely to his historicization that capitalism must fully develop in the countryside before the peasants can become a revolutionary class. The interest of the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party is in the working class, not the peasantry. In the article Revolutionary Adventurism, Lenin takes on the Social Revolutionary Party, or SRs, which styled itself as a revolutionary party in support of the peasantry. Lenin argues that the SRs lack class analysis, and because of this, their platform is disproportionately focused on the practice of terrorism and mutual aid, lacking a theoretical basis for their activity. He writes, quote, "In our opinion, the absence of theory deprives a revolutionary trend of the right to existence and inevitably condemns it, sooner or later, to political bankruptcy." In a letter to a comrade on our organizational tasks, Lenin states that the main weakness of the party are 1. The lack of serious training in revolutionary education, 2. Misplaced and immoderate application of elective principle, and 3. The workers' alienation from the active revolutionary work. More interestingly, there is a footnote in this article that strikes one as fortuitous. It comes after Lenin's discussion of the distribution of illegal literature. It reads, quote, "We must get the workers to understand that while the killing of spies, agents, provocateurs, and traitors may sometimes, of course, be absolutely unavoidable, it is highly undesirable and mistaken to make a system of it. Take that for what you will." Another major theme in this volume is the fate of the Bund, or the Jewish section of the RSDLP. In the article, "Does the Jewish proletariat need an independent political party?" Lenin argues emphatically no, in that, quote, "We must act as a single and centralized militant organization, have behind us the whole of the proletariat, without the distinction of language or nationality, a proletariat whose unity is cemented by the continual joint solution of problems of theory and practice, and we must not set up organizations that would march separately, each along its own track." In creating the program for the RSDLP, Lenin entered polemics for the first time with people like Yuliy Martov and Plekhanov. And although Plekhanov sides with Lenin at this point, the seeds of dissent are sowing in critical questions regarding nationalities and the agrarian program. However, one thing is clear by this volume is that Lenin has cemented his advocacy for a militant and centralized party. Thanks for listening. Until next time.